Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to the Hunter Classic on the map of Val-des-Bois. So this map is, I admit, it's one that I'm pretty mixed about, because this map was put into the Hunter Classic quite a few years back, but during that time, to really play the Hunter Classic, you almost needed to have like a subscription to the game, because they didn't have GM bucks in that, missions didn't reward any currency, I don't believe. It was a really different experience back then for the Hunter Classic. And this map was one where it does have regions you can hunt on, but there are also areas where you exclusively need climbing gear to get to. So back in the day, it used to be you basically have to pay a subscription to be able to play the game, and then buy a piece of equipment to actually play the most of this map. So that turned me off quite a bit from the Hunter Classic and made me ease away from there, so it's going to be interesting coming back to this map and that in the series now. For equipment-wise, though, we do have a lot we'll be getting rid of, because I'm not going to be taking the 303. That one really requires some pretty close-up use to actually, like, be good with stuff, so not going to worry about that. To do 4x32 or 3x9. Let's do, I guess, 3x9. And then we can also take with us the 243. And we'll just get that one. And let me just stock us... Oh, actually take those off. Now let me see ammo-wise. Okay, yeah, let's get a couple of those. Let's take all the stacks of that. Equipment. I don't believe I'll need the hog squealer. I won't need the water bottle. I do need the climbing gear. I did have to buy that from the store, so that was, I think it's $12.75, like GM. It's a decent little chunk of change for it. But it does have 20 uses, so I am hoping it will have some, oh my god. Okay, that's going to be a lot of stuff to remember and read through to use, so I'm hoping not to use this episode. But, yeah. It has 20 units in it, so I'm hoping that will at least, like, let us get to some areas of the map. I can't quite remember the entire animal roster here. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything I want, like, to have and use. I guess I'll pack on the... Yeah, I'll pack the E-collar. I don't even know if I'd, like, have anything that really needs that. I'm trying to think of what else to try picking. I guess maybe just, like, a basic grunt call, maybe. I don't think we have moose. I don't think we really have elk here. Maybe? I mean, again, I really should have done a little bit more. I'll just try taking that stuff with us. But Val-des-Bois is definitely going to be a map for more long-range sniping hunting. Because it's basically European Alps in a way, or French Alps. If you think of that, really, and, like, the first thing when you load into the Southern Lodge is a view of the mountains like this, so it does really set you up for, okay, this is going to be quite a bit different than any of the hunting I've done before. And it does mean we're going to be putting the bow away, so we shouldn't have to worry about any problems that I've been having trying to use that and be halfway decent with it. No. Red fox, that's actually good to... Ooh, actually, am I still at the lodge? Oh, I am. That is beautiful. Okay, so let me get a collar. That is pheasant. That's the jackrabbit. I think that's the one I want. And let's put that into 5 and see if we can even get ourselves a fox to start. And that was already mission objective complete. So stay low. We are, again, the only weapons you really need for this map are the 300 and the 243, and you can mostly hunt anything on the map. There are a couple of animals that I can't quite go after, which are, I think they're another species of ptarmigan, but I feel like I might be mistaken there. But either way, a small variety of game bird and a species of rabbit. Actually, since I'm not that far off from the lodge, maybe I'll even take a quick trip just to throw in the... well, I shouldn't say throw on the shotgun, but pack the shotgun along, too. So let's see, because the call from her didn't come that far off. I'm gonna try getting over to a tree, maybe just use that as possibly a bit of cover as I'm going to see about getting our first animal within, like, first few... well, I should have said first few minutes, but really, I talk a bit too much in the start of these episodes, don't I? Yeah, let's just get over here. Try doing another call and see if we can... I thought I saw a bit of color right there. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I didn't realize that she was that close to us already. But, yeah, I thought there would have been, like, a dead zone around the lodge like there usually is, so... Might have messed that opportunity up, but I will, because I will go and get ourselves a shotgun to bring with us. Because, yeah, I'm really super close to the start here. Okay, I do want to keep my ears open. We had quite a dumping of snow in my area, so I've been out snow blowing for quite a few hours today. I'm waiting for, like, street plow's gone by, waiting for the sidewalk plow to go by. Winter sucks when you have snow. It might be pretty to look at when you don't live in the region, but when you live in a region with proper snow, it can be a pain to deal with. So, let's just quickly get ourselves... Actually, am I going to have enough room for a shotgun? I think that's the one. Exceeds maximum capacity. You know what? I don't think I need the Red Deer collar. I'm going to get rid of the face paint and even the wind indicator. And let me see how that does for, like, capacity-wise. Jeez, how much is that going to be then? 3.5. Okay, yeah, so I need to... Oh, don't need that. Maybe I will keep the first aid kits just in case I do fall down the mountain. Like, I don't want to, but I feel like it could happen. Let's be honest, so... Still not quite enough. Okay, I can slide that in. Can I even... Like, even just one stack of that should... Ah, shoot. You know, I'm going to get rid of the deer grunt collar just because I don't know if I actually will need that, or... I don't even know if I need the row collar either, but you know what? I'll just try and see, and can I take a stack? Okay, that actually 20 out of 20, so we are all set up there. I don't know if I'll run into any rabbits, like this first episode or so. One things I try to do for the reserve tours is to go in blind to new ones, so that way I don't... Like, okay, I know where all the animal species are, so I'll only find these. No, I want to come in here new and fresh like you guys might be if you want to just try playing, so... And that's one of the reasons why I completely stumble at first getting onto reserves, but after, again, all the little reserve tour peaks are done, then I can easily go back and spend more time in the series, just going on more hunts and that, and get a little more practice and knowledgeable on certain maps. Again, I do think the Hunter Classic is a game I would probably move more to being a streaming series than a typical video series, because you do need the time to almost, like, warm up and let the map warm up, too, with animals and that to it. Either that, or maybe I have to go later in the day for my hunts and see from there. It's... Honestly, don't really know one way or the other. Yeah, we'll follow the trail along, and as you can see from the map here, we're probably going to be using the same technique that A2 mentioned in Pickabeen Bay, which was to use the waterway to go your way up and along through it. So we'll probably follow this for a while. I don't know if we'll get lucky and find any other easy opportunities like that fox was. But I hopefully have the colors for whatever is properly on the map. I'm trying to remember what everything was. The red fox, rabbit, the ptarmigan like little thing. I know there are type of like alpine goat or something. I can't remember the specific name of. It's a type of mountain goat. I know there's kind of bear on the map. And I don't know if it's roe deer or something else. But again, the only two weapons you need for the whole thing basically are a 243, the 300, and a shotgun, or air rifle, or what have you. Not a very big weapon loadout, and it brings us back to that generic one that, again, we've used throughout the series for quite a bit. I'll just take in the sights as we walk our way down, and then see how it's going to be using the water, or like using the river. Because I don't know how deep it is. As you can kind of see, there are deeper blue patches, and this is almost like a muddy, silty sort of thing, so I don't know if that's like a clue that it's not supposed to be super deep and you can walk it like a road in a way, or... Again, just have to get down there and we'll see for ourselves. I do gotta admit, I like the... It is probably just because I have a bias for being North American and Canadian, but I do have a bias for more of the, like, evergreen trees and pine trees all around you. Something about that just makes almost like a cozy feeling for a forest in a way. Like, you could easily just set up a little camp underneath one of them and have its boughs and branches as like a natural shelter almost. There you can definitely see much more of, like, the water in that. So that's where we're going to be getting down towards. And then, yeah, the climbing gear, it'll be interesting trying to use that. It looks like there's quite a bit of detail in, the description page for it, or, like, the item description. So, I don't know if the 20 units is, like, every so often you have to put in a new, like, foothold, or... God, I do not know the terminology for it, but almost like one of the clips that you'll use to climb up with. Again, we'll just see as we get to it, really. But yeah, another thing you can really see is that this area isn't actually one that has, like, a lot of dense vegetation, like, on some of the other maps. Like, you can see a lot of the trunks in the trees, but it's not like there's a lot of big scrub or brush or bushes or anything to really get in your line of sight that much. So it is one that's going to be much better for long-range hunting and using the rifles in that for. What do we got here? Oh, another fox track, so we might actually hear more calls from them as we're out and about. You know, I probably didn't even need to take the e-collar with me, but, I mean, it doesn't hurt, I guess. Yeah, we'll start getting right on down there and see how this will go. God, but I do admit, I love the looks of the maps and that are great. Like, the way the river just curves in through below the mountains and that, I love that sort of aesthetic. And looks like we are getting right down towards the water up ahead there. I'll just keep my eyes open. And we'll keep our ears open as we go, too. So definitely remember that I'm not going to try getting super close to animals, so I can be patient, and like how the fox, I probably could have gotten that if I wasn't an idiot and stood up there. I probably just stayed a little bit more patient and waited. So that's something I'm going to have to definitely try to clue myself into doing, too, is to just... Oh, darn it! All the way back where we came from. Well... Unfortunately, we aren't really going to backtrack because we got so much of the map to actually get into. So we'll just go and roam from the river here. But it really does look like it's pretty shallow with all the rocks that you can see already from here sticking out above the waterline. So it should make for just spotting along the banks and see what we can kind of find there. I was almost hearing something to my right here, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just losing it, but... Yeah, so this will go all the way up and in through the reserve, really. Well, hard to see across, but... I'm hoping because of how we saw in Picadine Bay, where we had so much activity at the edges of the water, we'll get lucky with this map too for it. Oh, yeah, speaking of, so is that a red deer? It is a red deer. Okay, I should have kept that collar with me. Well, again, live and learn for next episode, but we have something that should be able to pretty easily go after him. Okay, actually, one thing I should remember is, if I'm trying to go through the water, that's going to make quite a bit of noise. Let me see how I'm doing with the 300. Oh yeah, that's... Ooh, actually, I don't know if that was actually him I saw running way up there or not. Oh yeah, it looks like it might be. Okay, well, I know that was a definite long shot. Like, the placement on the animal, I think, was pretty perfect to basically be square into the lungs there. So I just gotta go over and start tracking from that. And I think there's actually a bit of an interesting quirk when it comes to, like, leveling up your tracking skill for the animals. It seems like you get more experience for, like, unique tracks to an animal than, say, getting 3 of that single animal for a species. Like, you'll get more experience finding 3 tracks of 3 separate animals of the same species than you will finding 3 tracks of the same animal. Which, I don't know how I feel about that, because you'd think you'd gain more experience in following along a set of tracks for a while than just, this track from this animal, this track for that. Oh, excuse me. Track for this animal, track for that animal. Oh no, that was a completely different animal there. Oh, okay, well that's good to know. We have something we can go forward for. But yeah, as I thought, square in the vitals, put it down basically in an instant. So let's go collect you. You're definitely you're a very small red deer. Like, for what these guys can get for their antler configuration, this is like a twig, really. Yeah, so 95. I'm not going to take a trophy shot. Let's just see. Oh, this is a new menu. I kind of like this in a way, but you gotta be very careful if we're going to, like, quickly, like, click again afterwards. So, you can basically taxidermize it. That'll sell it. See, I don't know, because the screen doesn't really tell you how it exactly works. I still think there could be a little bit more information for this little menu, just to say, like, spend 10, spend this, or gain in the middle. I think that'd be a better option, so that way, again, you know exactly what they are. Because it's like, oh, well, I'm a new player, I see this is the highest value on the right, let's do that. And then you realize you didn't actually get that, you spent that. So yeah, I think that could have used a little bit more thought into that design, and I guess it must have just been put in with a recent update. But we have another one that we can try following the tracks of, since we know it did go running up the river. So let's just continue on. Oh, yeah, these are probably the tracks of the other one that went running. So I don't know if my tracking is high enough to be able to tell if it's male or female by the tracks yet. I'm actually not sure how high I need to get that for... Yeah, so it's still not quite high enough there. Nope, actually, 2 trails, so I might have sent more in... Oh! Well, there's another mission objective complete. Is that something in the water, or is that just another rock? Just another rock. But it might not hurt to actually, again, use binoculars and take a little bit of a look around to see. That's definitely the name of the game for Val-des-Bois. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I mean, I am Canadian, I took... How many years of French do they have in the curriculum? Not that I'm saying I have any skill with it, but I should at least be able to try to understand a little bit of, like, the pronunciation for it. Val-des-Bois. I think it's like that. But yeah, so I actually scared off a couple. I don't know if they were... It's hard to say, because on the one hand, it is a species of deer, and the deer tend to only either herd up as male or female herds, with mixed herds generally kind of small, and maybe a male in there, so it's hard to say what the two were that went running off. Oh, look at that, sun cresting over the mountains. I mean, there are still some spots where you can see the game's age and that, where, like, you can have gaps in the mountains there, but there are still some points where you just have to hand it that the game remains gorgeous. No? Was that something? No, maybe not. I just thought I almost heard, like, a... Maybe it's just like a buzz of an insect or something as I've been walking. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, because I just heard it again. Okay, and with the sun coming up, it's getting a little easier to spot around, so I might be able to see some things without needing to rely on the binoculars. I don't exactly want to go running either, because... Well, oh, what do we got here? Okay, red deer, so we'll see. She might... Actually, no, I think that said, like, a new trail discovered, so she's probably not one of the two that I scared. It's hard to say if she'll be with any males or not, but again, we're heading up this way, so we'll be able to check in just a bit. I highly doubt they'll be going up the side of the mountain here, but I mean, the Hunter Classic is a little bit dated, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have a few Skyrim deer. Actually, no, I don't even think Skyrim's deer were able to go up mountains. It was just the horses. It's just the dang horses you could basically go vertical up slopes. Oh, now see, there's a nice looking red deer. I was telling you guys how about the one we got was basically just a twig? Yeah, that's a proper male right there. Or stag. Stag. That's right. Okay, so let me crouch down. Actually, no, let me see. I might... Well, if he stops freaking out... Yeah, another square shot in the lungs. And just send two of the does running. Is it does, or would they be oh, man. See, there's a lot of different terminology in that when you can come to, like, identifying animals and stuff. Like, you have deer bucks, bull, stags, does, cows. Sows, maybe? But I think that's more for, like, pigs. But then again... I say, there's so much different terminology, you could, like, toss terms around quite a bit. And then you also have how we identify different animals by, like, continent, too. Like, for me, North America, when I think of elk, I think of, like, the Roosevelt elk. But I think over in some parts of... I'm trying to think of it. Because... I'm trying to remember how it is. Because I know, like, when I was playing, Siberian Expeditions, what I think in North America is a moose, I think you actually would call in Europe an elk in some areas. And it's like, kind of weird, but I can understand how it goes a little, because, like, again, it's all the deer family, but it all depends on the region and area you're in, where it can be varying on what, like, things are identified as. Well, we've got our first little twig red deer, and now we got a true proper red deer stag here with this guy. So we'll walk up, take a look at how his antlers are. Definitely getting a trophy shot of this one. Because I gotta admit, the red deer... I'm trying to remember what, like, my favorite animal just to hunt is for, like, appearance, like the antler configuration or trophies or that. And I know elk are definitely one that really up there for me. They kind of give me this, like, I'm trying to think of what the term would be. Almost like regalness in a way. Like, Baron of the Woods or something. Almost like a royalty sense. But okay, yeah, see, again, do want to be careful about when I'm clicking, so 65, that's actually pretty good for just the one. Oh, I mean, no, I don't have a trophy lodge, and again, that's another thing where it can be a bit of a money sink when you really start going into the Hunter Classic. If you have the time to really play on your own and go through all the stuff, like play at your own leisure, have a lot of time you can sink in, completing missions, I'm sure you can grind up GM pretty reliably. But for like how I'm doing is the series where I'm just trying to play on video, so you guys do see everything. Or you see everything since I've like started the series on the channel. Because again, I know it's come up in the past from a bit of a nitpicky viewer, we'll say, is that I returned to the Hunter Classic to start the YouTube series. I have had experience with it in the past, but I wanted to check out, see how it is, like coming back, I guess sort of like a veteran in a way. It's definitely improved, and there's a lot more accessibility to it. But as much as there is some, like, more accessibility, I also feel like it can still be pretty daunting to start new. Like, how every weapon, or every caliber of weapon is its own levels tree, how so much of the tracking, spotting, and that are all their own separate levels per animal. It is one thing that it definitely is, like, quite the time sink to try to develop and get better with it, or improve performance in game. You have things like you'll pick up your own things, like, okay, I should be crouching more on approaches here, I can use cover here to lure something in, but then there are some game mechanics that you only really get from leveling, such as your aim being steadier with a weapon, or you're able to identify the gender of an animal. Oh, what the heck? Well, we might be able to get one more red deer before we end the episode. And, I mean, considering how nice the last male was, I'm hoping we can either have equal or better. So we should actually be able to see him with the binoculars. Oh, well, there's a mission. Okay, so that's that completed. Yeah, I guess I should probably... Actually, I don't know if I think you can activate more missions while you are already out on a hunt. And I think that's a way if you do have, like, say... No, you're not exactly as impressive as I was hoping, are you? Are you alone? Let me just take a look around. Okay, maybe he is all alone. But yeah, again, I think a big thing that I really got to both thank E2 for, and remember as well, is the waterways can really, really help you out in the early stages of learning, like how to hunt, how the Hunter Classic plays. I mean, look at how easy of an opportunity you can get with certain animals. Oh, that was pretty far back. Again, I'll have to check and see what my skill level is. I think it'll put him down, but I think that was more of a gut shot than a lung. Yeah, I probably should have laid prone and been able to try for him. That's on me, though. But, I mean, again, that's one thing where I lean into just how wobbly the sights can be on some weapons, just to begin with. Like, I do have a bit of a wobble there in 243, but I can really mitigate that quite a bit holding breath. 300, even when I do try to hold breath, still got a noticeable amount. But we'll keep on him, try our best to get him so that we don't have the doc message scolding you. Or scolding me. Because that's one thing that can be annoying if you do try playing the Hunter Classic and you really try and spend a lot of time tracking a wounded animal, but you cannot find it. It kind of sucks, and it's like, I know it sucks. You finish up the game, go back to the launcher, and there's a little message to read, and it's, oh, you wounded the animal, how could you leave it out there? It's like, I tried, I could have spent hours out there trying, but I still couldn't find it. Yeah, I don't know if this will actually tell me, like, where I hit it, because we are in the water. If it's on the ground or, like, on land, I'd probably have more information in regards to where the shot landed, but I don't know if I'd have that here. Tracks is something else. Is this another red deer? Red fox. Oh, no, actually, that was in the area, too. Oh, probably not anymore after that shot. Yeah, so I'm not going to get any idea about how wounded it was until we're basically following it up onto the shore here. Oh, and then we are actually... You can kind of see it up there, I think. It should... Oh, there's the tower. Yeah, there's actually a castle we can visit here, too, so maybe we'll do that this episode, considering we're this close to it. Or, not this episode, sorry, this next episode, the second half of the weekend. Yeah, so I went running up here, basically in a straight line up for the shore here, so I am hoping that one shot will have been enough to put him down, but I know it wasn't a long shot. Almost makes me wish you get like a bipod or something. You could just... Something to give you a little bit more stability as you work at getting a weapon skill up. Or, again, kind of redo the progression system, because I don't know if you need every single weapon to have its own skill tree. There's something else over there? I thought I just saw a little dark spot. Maybe it's just the way the rocks were there. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Is this going to... again, I don't know how wounded he is. I'm imagining it was like an intestine shot because of how far back it was. Yeah, if that's the case, it could be quite a while before he will be... go down, or... See, I'm hoping he does go down because there's a chance also, as I'm trying to, like, follow up with his trail. Intestines. Okay, it is what I thought. I think he should go down from that. I just hope I don't scare him further and he's already just laying down somewhere and what's happened has happened. Because you never want to... So that's a way you can kind of tell between somebody who's really into hunting or just likes the idea of it more, is you never go on a hunt to try to, like, harm the animal or to do more than necessary pain-wise or suffering. You want to have quick, clean, and efficient for your hunts. So I admit I do hate when I just... Okay, there... Okay, so she's over there. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, just so that I could try to keep following his tracks, but... I don't know where his... Maybe his tracks went up instead of down. Let me try going uphill and see. Because I should have found another track from this red deer by now. That might even be it there. Let me just take a look down the hill in case. That's something, too, is if an animal does die on a hill, it might even slip and slide all the way down it, so... Yeah, still intestines. Okay, so he's gone down to just, like, roaming now. So let me just keep following here, and... Yeah, I really gotta... God, I so want to get the channel up to that 1,000 so I can start branching out and expanding more. Because I really, really need that for, like, the Hunter Classic. Or even just so I can, like, upload videos, too. Okay, more tracks, but I do not see him yet. Oh, actually, maybe I do. There's some movement up there. I don't know if he's the same one or not, though. It looks like he's a bit better than the one I went for. Let me see. If he's limping, that might be ours, but he's... No, he's definitely better than the one that we went for. So ours is still somewhere to be found. I admit that is a nice one, but I don't want to take that shot just in case this other guy's still not gone down yet. So we'll just keep along and try to find this one. Doesn't look like it's keeping a pretty steady path. I'm going to ignore the fox call. Just so I can, again, keep top priority on this guy we wounded. It should have been an easy lung shot, but I think I was a little too hasty in taking that shot with how the wobble was. I see. The game almost likes to, like, tease you, too, because he's... That one's coming over here. That would make it super easy just to go for it and get. I don't even see... I wonder if that one actually did die and slid down the hill somewhere back there, because, like, I don't see any other tracks. Not for the distance, I would have found another one. So, maybe he is down in, like, this little gutter here. Let me just take a little walk still and see. Oh, no. Looks like... Okay, was not expecting him to go to the water. So this is pretty... This is a little bit out of the path of travel that I was expecting. And it turned to fleeing. Oh. Okay, well, you know what? I can't let the episode go any further than this, so I'm going to pause, and then we'll be back in the next one. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this episode of the Hunter Classic. If you liked this episode so far, be sure to give us a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave them in the comments right down below. As you can see, my rifle skills, not the best, but definitely much better than my bow skills, so... Next episode, we'll try to get some more animals, try to see more of Val-des-Bois, and just enjoy our time here. So until I do catch you in the next video or episode, survivors and hunters, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.